Welcome to Sunrise Extra. Thanks for clicking on us. And we are so excited for today's topic because all week we've been doing this great series. We started it last year. It's called How We Met. And we're getting comments and stories from you guys on how you met your partner. And
They're
some of them are really good. Yeah, Drew, what did we get? Like over 600 or something?
So on Sunday night, we reposted the original Facebook post. Like we put this out last month just to sort of generate some content for this week's How We Met series. On Sunday night, during the Super Bowl, one of our producers, Andrew, said, hey, I'm just going to repost that and see if we get any more comments. During the Super Bowl, Rod, I don't know, we talked about this yesterday, but you weren't here. Yeah. We got like close to 400 responses within an hour during the Super Bowl about people just sharing how they met their significant others. And they are some classic stories.
There's nothing else exciting going on, apparently.
Well, here's a few, as a matter of fact. These are from the KGW Love Files. How about Jim Gonzalez? Now, I haven't read this entirely yet, so here we go. I was new to the area, Jim says. We had mutual friends who were going out for a night on the town. He was one of the people driving, and she had parked her car behind his. And then he hit her car.
Oh, man.
Now, she wasn't in the car. She was in someone else's car watching all this unfold. But he's completely embarrassed, Jim says. So what did he do? Well, he asked her out to dinner, and the rest was history. How about that story? All right. One more. Jaquette? Would you say Jaquette, Nina and Brenda?
Sure, that sounds good. Yeah.
Jackie for short, maybe. She says she and her significant other met at work. She was my boss at one point. Then I was hers. We couldn't stand each other when we first met, but then eventually they got the hookup going. Do we have one more cold here? How about Nancy? She says, I actually read this one before. Nancy went on a blind date on Friday the 13th in January of 1961. She says she was so shy, she thinks her husband asked her out again just to see if she could actually talk. She says they've been married since 1962, and she's pretty sure there are times when he wishes the old quiet version of her would show back up. All right, those are some great tales. I love the ones today, the short ones, like people responding in 4 words. I met the mailman. Another one said, I was dating his roommate. That's what, I was dating his roommate. So you showed up for the date and you wound up with the roommate. Those are great love tales.
Yeah. It's all in how you meet people.
Yeah. Today it's your turn, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the phones pulled up, not because we're distracted or into looking at Rod's weather forecast. Oh no, we want to watch your love stories as they trickle in this morning on the Facebook and YouTube streams. So come on out from the woodwork, Ginny Carlson's, Jennifer Taft's, Willie Huey's. How did you meet your significant others?
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, remember, this is very casual. You can tell us literally anything.
Yes, while we're on the internet, and Rod, on the internet, we can say it. There's no restrictions from the FCC here. We will share every detail, good, bad, or dirty.
Oh my God.
Tina Carlson says we met at a video store 29 years ago.
Oh, why don't you miss video stores? I love that. Pam Anderson says, Paul took me out on our first date in 1997 to see Titanic. Nice. I remember that. Brought me home, came in to watch MTV, and got snowed in for 2 days.
Whoa,
back up. Then what happened?
Best date ever.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah.
Pam and Paul Anderson, they have been like at least 3-time participants in the KGW Sunrise Viewer Recipe segment. They're one of the most fun couples we've ever featured. They're awesome.
I love that.
Darlene says, good morning. Today my husband and I celebrate our 18th wedding anniversary. We did this because neither of us are Valentine's type of people.
Oh, gotcha.
So they're just kind of moving it. Yeah.
Well, our number one viewer, probably Jennifer Taft. Good morning, Jennifer. This is a weird one. My husband sold his horse for my plane ticket to Hawaii. He traded one bag for another. 30 years, happily unmarried. What?
Wait a minute, Jennifer. Jennifer,
she called herself an old bag.
We can't read through the Jenniferisms there. What's going on with that story? Obviously not still married.
I'm not following.
Nag, not bag. She says, she corrects herself.
Okay, that damn typos. Tanya says met in high school.
Amber Wilbur, this is so cute. I was softly crying on the bus home ride in high school, and he came up to ask questions and listen to me, and he quoted a Beatles song. That is how we met. That is so cute.
Perhaps it was All You Need Is Love.
There you go. Softly. Michelle McMurray says we were high school sweethearts, married for almost 28 years.
I'm kind of depressed this morning because I can't pull up the stream on my phone. I've got a white blank screen right now trying to read your love stories.
Let me help you out.
Willie.
Shireen says, met my husband at the Rockin' Rodeo.
Oh,
Been
nice.
married 23 years and have been together for 25.
Oh, Carla says we met in 5th grade, remained friends through the years, and years ago we went out on a date to catch up on old times, and they got married 4 months later. We are in our 50s. We're perfect for each other. We love our awesome life we have together. My dream came true. Oh, Carla.
I love that. You asked for Willie Huey and he showed up.
Oh,
Nice.
boy.
Met my wife in 7th grade in school. It must be, it says Rose horses together?
Road horses together?
Now listen, gang,
What?
I know you're typing frantically to share your love stories. Slow it down.
We can't read
Slow
bad
it down. Type carefully.
We've been up way too long.
Give us all the juicy details.
Too early.
Did you see Tiffany Berg first kiss in 6th grade at the skating rink? I assume that's who she went on to marry. But
When was your guys' first
doesn't
kiss?
say.
Like, do you remember what grade you were in?
We're all going to take a turn with this
Go
one.
around the horn.
I don't. You don't have to. You can say either the year or the name of the person. How about that?
Okay.
Because I remember Jenny Alper.
What? The
Very-
year? I don't care about the name of the person. I want to know how old you were.
Jenny Alper, Halloween party, 1985. That was October of '85. The
How old were
beginning
you?
of 6th grade.
wow.
6th grade.
Beginning
okay.
of 6th grade,
Yes.
you were smooching.
That
I was
is-
reading-
I know,
Well, listen to
Brenda,
this.
you and I, well, Drew, you're a Catholic little
So
boy.
was this like a big kiss? It wasn't just like a
No,
peck. It was like a French
I was not
kiss?
comfortable. I'll tell you, I was not comfortable with the situation. We were at Martha Tomasetti's house. Martha's mom was upstairs letting the 6th graders have a Halloween party downstairs.
Oh, Martha,
Probably
you
a
should've
mistake
done
on Mrs. Tomasetti's part. And we were playing some game, spin the bottle or what have you.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, I'm supposed to go into the closet with Jenny Alper. I noticed Jenny. I was kind of like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do this. And Jenny was like, she was already in the closet before I even knew what was going on. Like, hurry up. Let's go, Drew.
Let's get it over with.
And yeah, Jenny kind of took charge there with that kiss in 6th grade.
That was part of the game. You had to actually go into the closet and spend a few minutes.
Yeah, something like that. Our producers are in my ear. It's called 7 Minutes in Heaven. I think for Jenny it was about 6.5
but
minutes of
that's
hell.
attached to spin the bottle? I thought that was a different. Or was that like one of the options? I
Hey,
had never
listen,
done
we're going back 35 years, okay? The details are somewhat foggy, but I remember Jenny Alper, Martha Tomasetti, and the kiss in the closet pretty quickly.
There you go.
Okay,
Ron,
Brenda.
what about you?
How old?
We had those spin the bottle games in junior high school. You know, we did that. Carol Eubanks used to always throw parties. It was kind of the same.
Rod.
batch
Blah,
of-
blah,
What?
blah. How old were you when you had your
Simple
first
question.
Like the first little mwah,
grade.
the first little
Yeah.
mwah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, in 2nd grade, we all felt like we needed to experience that.
come on.
So in 2nd grade, we did the little mwah. Technically, that would be it.
No, that's
Otherwise, the first,
When's the next time?
the first real kiss.
Give us the first 10.
No, the first real kiss would be those junior high years, 7th, 8th grade, somewhere
Okay.
in there.
He doesn't remember is the bottom line. Stop pressing the guy.
I know.
We're not all going to remember.
Eubanks.
Do you guys remember, both of you, do you remember your very first,
Yes.
kiss?
I
Yes.
remember my first makeout, and I think I was like 13, and it was church camp in California.
Oh, those church camps.
That was my
One of
husband's
those
first
church
kiss was at
camp
church
boys.
camp too. Woo, that's funny. I think I was like, I think a sophomore in high school.
Get out.
I was a good girl.
I don't want to hear
Really?
about like and I think. I want the facts of the matter. You're asking the questions, now answer.
It was after some dance in high school, and I was spending the night with a bunch of little girlfriends at someone's house, and their dad was dropping off like our dates and other people at their houses. And because we had gone back to their house, like changed clothes out of our dresses and stuff, and had played and watched a movie, and then the dad was dropping off people. And so we dropped off my date, and he came around and opened the door for me and was like, here, get out. And I was like, oh my God, okay. So I got out and shut the door, and he kissed me right next to the car. And I was just like, oh my God, what is happening? And then he walked to his house, and then I got back in the car, and everyone was like, what was going on? But I was so embarrassed because the dad was driving, and I did not want him to hear anything. And so, yes.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
There you go.
I'm still trying to get on the Facebook feed to read your comments this morning. So Brenda, Nina, Rod, you're going to help me
gotta
out with
take
the
it from
comments.
there.
Mary Hogan Camp says first kiss, 13 years old, behind the lockers at the
Oh,
skating rink.
that's a good one.
Did you
That
guys
is
see
a
that
good one.
Connie, I guess this is her husband. She was 12. her husband 13. They met on a band field trip. So they've been together, or at least have known each other since they were 12 and 13 years old.
The old band camp get-together.
Yeah.
Nice.
I had a few of those.
Band camp.
Was that Connie Staub Miller by any chance?
That's correct, yes.
I don't even need the feed. I know who you people are.
No way, Stanford Walker. That is not true, right? He says, I met the Walker gal on KGW's Sunrise Extra chat room. Then it was dinner, and then stars and kisses. No.
Is it
Stanford,
true? I don't know.
Wait a minute.
are you telling the truth?
What's
In
going
the
on?
chat. No, he said the chat room.
Maybe
Director
you don't
Brian's
have a
like he's
chat
talking about
room.
Brenda. Are you being serious?
No.
Who said? Well,
He
wait.
says no.
Brian Matthews, our director, thinks he's talking about Brenda. He didn't say Brenda's name,
No,
did
but
he?
no.
Stanford Walker,
he's just messing.
clarify, please.
Stanford.
Angela Barks Draz says, I taught my spouse how to ride a motorcycle, broke my rule, and dated a former student. Say more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Curious about that.
Because we had that story this morning on the
Yeah, do
Sunrise
you guys
TV
have that
show.
comment that we could pull up on Tagboard?
It was like
teacher
number.
one?
Oh, yeah.
That was a doozy way to end it, for sure.
I think it was number 4 on the board, guys. If you can shuffle through from the beginning.
Meanwhile, a lot of first kiss stories. Terry says, first kiss, 13 years old, behind the lockers at the skating rink.
A comment previously read by either Nina or Brenda. I'm
Did
not
you read
sure
that?
which.
Did I miss that? I can't believe I missed something with skating in it. 'cause
That's okay.
Well, you know, that's my family's life at the skating rink. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Did you guys see Kate's?
Yes,
This is like
I just like,
crazy,
what is
crazy.
that?
She says, I was never married before.
Oh my God.
He was. He claimed his wife was dead when she was never found.
What the heck?
That's a
I don't
Dateline
understand
story,
that.
girl.
She was never found.
Stanford says it's true, you guys.
What-
You met someone in the chat room for this show, and now you guys are together?
What's her name?
Wait a second,
We've only been
Stanford.
doing this for, what, a year?
Can
No, 2
we
years
do
now.
an interview with you? Like
Yes.
a Zoom chat interview? Because this is like
The
unprecedented.
love connection.
When the answer to the question how you met is you guys, we need more details, Stanford.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
I've got
We need
nothing going
that-
on here, Stanford.
We need to fit that in
First
this
off,
week somehow.
What were we talking about that day that was so boring you had a chance to meet somebody?
I think it was the day that he stopped liking Drew.
Yeah. You know, it's just
We won't
that's
bring
just
that
a
up
shame.
now, though.
That is just a shame how that went down the tubes.
That's
that
okay. We
relationship.
won't talk about it.
yes,
oh yeah,
please
let's
do the
pull up that comment. Go ahead.
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This was from Carrie. Now, we got to wait for the end, but
Okay.
the setup is here. My sophomore year in high school, we met in typing class. Didn't start dating until after graduation. Married 2 years later, 3 kids, 7 grandkids,
Wow.
47 years married, and oh, by the way, he was my typing teacher.
Oh.
Teacher meet student.
Did you guys have any stories of that from your school?
Well,
I was
that's
telling you
soaked
about
in
one
for
of
a
mine,
while.
but
What do you mean stories like that?
like
of teachers?
students later, hopefully dating former teachers.
You mean stories of crime where the teachers get involved
I
with
was
the students?
saying maybe you didn't find out about it till
No,
later.
I don't know that.
You want to share yours or you're not allowed to?
I don't even remember their name, so it doesn't really matter. But
Okay.
yeah, some girl that I went to high school with, after high school, and I think like late in maybe her college years, started dating one of our priests.
Say it!
One of the priests?
Say it!
He left
priest.
the priesthood, and they
Wow.
are married now.
Okay, well, as long as they
There
left
you
the
go.
priesthood.
Yes. So
He was called into the
weird.
priesthood by a higher calling, and she pulled him out of the priesthood with her calling.
There
He'd
you
had
go.
enough.
Hillary Beam says my husband, or met my husband through a friend. We were friends instantly, but were best friends for 12 years before we finally decided how much we
12
loved
years.
each other.
That would be
However,
hard.
they knew it all along.
if I'm friends with someone for that long, like I couldn't turn, you're in the friend zone, man.
Yeah.
Like
Friend zone.
forever at that point. to
Really?
me. I would think. Like you just view like, hey, they're your buddy.
But can't you spin it the other way, saying, wait a minute, this is what I should be doing, marrying my best friend?
clearly, yes.
Right? You can go the other way, yeah.
I mean, we're wiser when it comes to love later in life, right? I mean, you make that seems like a very logical, wise decision. Get
probably
together and
become
stay with the
much
person that
richer.
you're really good friends with. But sometimes when you're young and you're getting involved in this love game, you don't see things so clearly.
So true. Sue says, I came to Portland to go shopping and met Steve. Oh, shoot. Gosh darn it, I just got
There's-
bumped right off. Can you see
bumped out
that?
of the love
Okay.
zone.
Can you
What
guys
happened? Oh my God, they're coming in fast and furious, and I
Yeah.
lost my plane.
Here's one right here that maybe appeals to Rodney as a former McDonald's
I came to Portland to go
employee.
shopping and met Steve through friends. We got married 6 weeks later.
Yes,
that was
that's the
26
one.
years ago. There we
Okay,
go.
that's
We're all
awesome.
looking at one on
Okay,
the
what's
screen, though,
this?
gang. This is from Sue. She says, we'll be married 40 years in March. We met under the Golden Arches, Rod,
Yeah.
while working the graveyard shift at Mickey D's.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
He was the manager working his way through college. It was
Yeah.
in Phoenix, Arizona. No kidding.
That's awesome.
I had a few romances back in the old McDonald's
whoa.
Arches days.
Tell me about
Of course
these.
you did.
Any kissing near the fries? A lot of oil going on there.
The smell of like your clothes after that would not be, I mean, yeah.
Well, for starters, I like the smell of hamburgers and fries, so that's not an issue.
What is that bewitching scent?
Oh my gosh. Renee Robertson says, met my hubby whitewater rafting on the Deschutes River 25 years
Oh,
ago.
nice. That's cool. I wonder how people are, you know, gosh, can you imagine like trying to date if you're single right now? You know?
So what do you guys
Bars
understand?
aren't open. Producer Brian in my ear. Oh, it's impossible.
Tell me if you guys understand this one. Jenny says, we met in Second Life, fell in love with his voice. For those unsure, Second Life is an online world. Do you know, I have no idea what that means.
I'm Googling.
I'm telling you, you remember back in the day when we were always trying to get our single executive producer, Brandon O'Rourke,
I thought about that yesterday.
Right?
Yes.
I haven't really caught up on his love life, but we've got some good men working here who are single.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
wife has always been pretty good at setting people. I based that on one really good setup, and it was actually a former KGW reporter, Jennifer Iveson. You remember Jennifer? Who worked here on the
Absolutely.
Sunrise Show,
Yes,
Brenda?
yes.
And my wife set Jennifer up, who she barely knew. She only knew her through me, with another friend of ours who also worked here at the station, but he worked upstairs in sales. His name was Marco. And a year and a half after they met and went on their first date, by way of my wife, the two of them were moving to San Diego, where they eventually got married, and they have 2 kids today. Still going strong.
That was a great, Mia, well
Yeah.
done.
How about that?
Yeah. Little matchmaker.
She looks at that and goes, man, I set those two up better than I set myself up. I'm kidding.
You guys, that thing that Rod was just mentioning, Second Life,
Yeah, what is that?
it says it's an online virtual world where apparently it's 3D. You can create, connect, and chat with others from around the world using voice and virtual reality.
Is it pandemic related? Like, did it start because of the pandemic? Are you ever meeting in person on this Second Life site?
Meet real Second Life residents.
This sounds way too complicated for me.
Tammy says she met her husband through a personal ad through Willamette Week. Like
Oh my
the ones
gosh,
in the
do you
back.
remember
Really?
reading those?
Oh,
like,
heck yes.
what were they called?
Scandalous.
But what
The
was it called? Like
personal
happenstance or?
Oh, I don't remember.
Sounds like people used to do that in regular newspapers, right?
Yes.
I'm single, whatever.
I loved the Willamette Week though one, and it was like, gosh dang it. It was titled something like you happen to see somebody, and then you would put an ad on there of like, I saw you passing
Yes,
by the
yes.
TriMet bus number
Yes.
54 or whatever.
Yes.
You were wearing a red hat and we smiled and something. I used to love reading. It was on the back of the paper, and they would always have those.
Okay, y'all, how about this? Sharon says, let's do a chat about how to meet during the time of COVID.
Yeah.
Us singles need help. LOL.
Chance meeting, Paul Kenny.
There's
thank
a
you.
local young
Chance
woman
meeting.
who is from the area. She went away to college, but she reached out to me a few months ago, and she did this very thing. She started in 2020, the beginning of the year. She was going to go on a date a week, just to talk about kind of dating life.
A week.
1 date a week. Then the pandemic hit in March, but she did not give up on this year-long effort. She continued to date through COVID, and obviously doing it as safely as humanly possible. And a lot of times the dates were just virtual before they got together.
Right.
Anyways, I can quickly look up this website for that individual who wants to know more about it, because I will tell you that she has done actually an excellent job of spelling out what dating is like for a young person right now during the time of COVID.
Oh, interesting.
I'll look
That
up her
is
name.
great.
She is local.
Okay.
Very cool. On YouTube, we don't want to forget all of our folks watching on YouTube. Courtney Willingham, thanks for chiming in. She says she's been married 10 years. They met at a truck stop. She was a waitress and he was a truck driver, and we are still together.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Angel says we met on Plenty of Fish 2 years ago, a dating site, I guess. I proposed
It's a Christian dating site.
6 months later, and we were just married in October. Congratulations.
Plenty of fish in the
Yeah,
sea.
that's fantastic.
Very cool.
So, real quick, the woman's name that I'm talking about, Isabel Klein. And the funny thing here is, Brenda, you may remember this. We did a viewer recipe segment at this woman's mother's house. It was a Christmas cookies segment, and I did the entire morning with the mom and her 3 daughters. So this is one of the daughters. She's just done a full year of dating during COVID. The website is dateaweek.com.
Date a week.
And this local young lady spells out just what it is like and some of the trip falls or the hazards.
Like what? Give me a highlight.
Honestly,
give me something.
I didn't explore the website that closely for the details, Brenda.
All right, fair enough.
She did say she had some crazy dates. She actually met some fantastic people. Dateaweek.com is the website.
Well, you're going to have some bad dates if you're going to do it that often, right? So you're kind of looking for the needle in the haystack type.
Did you see Willie Huey's suggestion, meanwhile, on Facebook this morning?
Read it, Drew. I like it.
Okay, I got to go back to the stream. Here it is. Willie Huey says, how about this, gang? Do a Sunrise Extra where you tried out some eligible bachelors on the screen in their swimsuits. You ask them world peace questions. Yeah. And then people can look these dudes up if they're interested in their bodies and their answers.
There you go.
There you go. Well,
thank you, Willie Huey, for the fantastic suggestion.
Well, Amber says 2 of my teachers came on to me pretty hard.
That's it.
Ba-dum bum.
Ba-dum bum boom bam boom.
I feel like we've come to a grinding halt.
No.
Come on, give us a good comment.
Sure, now it says that website. I went to dateaweek.com. I don't think it's .com.
No?
It didn't work for me. She said, that's really cool. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. All right, I'm going to go look that. Give me 30 seconds to make sure that's the website.
Pixelgeist on YouTube wants to remind us it is National Pizza Day today.
Today is?
Yeah.
We would have had Phil on, right, Drew?
Phil from Escape from New York Pizza on Northwest 23rd.
So sad.
They've been there for 35 plus years. Where the heck is this?
That puts me in a depressed mood. I didn't get free pizza today.
Don't be depressed.
You
You're
can still
already
go get
depressed
your own
because
pizza
the
that you pay
Chiefs
for.
lost.
Thank you, Brenda Braxton.
We can't.
What did you eat, by the way, on Super Bowl Sunday? What was your
We had a taco. My wife made a little taco
bar.
bar to enjoy all afternoon. Yeah.
How upset were you? Because they were behind the whole entire time.
You know what? The bad thing is that we were so beaten. There really was never a chance to even cheer, right? As a fan, you really do want to cheer. But if your team is never in it, you really never get a chance to do that.
At halftime, though, you thought they might come back. I mean, it wasn't out of the question.
Well, but the thing was, it was a simple game. Their defensive line swallowed our offense, and that was the entire game. We never had an answer for it. And by the beginning of the third quarter, it was pretty evident we were not going to come up with an answer for it. Yeah.
All right.
I may have shouted out a few F-bombs.
Oh,
I'm certain you did.
Going blue on Super Bowl Sunday. That website, by the way, you need dashes. So it's date-a-week.com. I Googled Date a Week and the girl's name, which is Isabel Klein, and I came up with it. But anyway, date-a-week.com. Pretty cool website.
Yo, I got to go.
Wow.
I got to go do a little Today Show cut.
And we'll go too.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us for this Calumet edition of Sunrise Extra.